And we're live!
Yay.
Hey, everybody! Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. Today is Tuesday, June 15th. And with me tonight, I have...
Hello, I'm Robert, the Zombie Bargain Hunter. What is going on, everybody?
So we'll wait for some folks to get in the live chat before we start on the topic. And while we wait, we can riff a little bit. How hot is it there?
107 right now. See, my marshmallow is like melting.
107?
103 yesterday, so it's getting worse.
It's only 76 here, but it was raining and it cooled it off.
Oh, I want your rain. Bring it over here, please.
Well, it cut our power off on Sunday for a little while, and
Well, the heat cut off my power yesterday, so if I get cut off, you know what happened.
There's a big tree down the road that got hit by lightning.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, like a huge tree, like 100 years old, really, really big. It took out half the playground. They had like a crane and a bulldozer and some policemen and firemen. It was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
That's what you do for excitement in Pittsburgh. You go look at down trees.
You watch trees burn.
So
The burning man, you have burning tree.
Stark Raven Wild is here, and she found a Hermes tie for 50 cents.
I have so many ties. I just haven't listed them.
Lisa's here. Guys, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm like... Lisa's here. Hi, welcome in. What? I'm really loud and obnoxious right now. Hi, guys. Rhonda and Amelia are here. Gnome and the Frog, which is Bill and Dave, are here. Say hi. And they are mods, so they can help you out if you need help. And Becky is here. She says, first time on a live, and we are her favorites.
Right.
Debbie's here. So, full disclosure, Robert already knows this. Before I came on, I got a huge steam burn on my hand cooking dinner tonight, and I have a headache. So if you guys feel like I'm yelling or being extra exuberant or excitable, it's because that's how I deal with ignoring pain. Yes, I burnt my hand. I've got a headache. It's really, really hot. And sales were slow, and I think everyone's just kind of feeling that summer.
Yeah.
Summer meh. Debbie's here. Mary McQueen is here. Fellow Dave Ramsey follower. And Marilyn is here from Arkansas. So, Letitia came in. Hi. I'm going to check how many folks are here. All right, we got enough to get into the chat or into the topic. Hello from Alabama, Nina. So, tonight we're going to talk about having a volume-based business. Spoiler alert, both Robert and I, with Keith, have a volume-based business. In fact, a lot of the most successful YouTubers you guys are familiar with, or folks from the reselling community, are volume-based businesses. Megan Maweni, Bill and Dave, even though they've cut back a little bit, they have a lot of volume in their sneakers. I've actually been to their house and seen their eBay storage. It's really neat. They're very organized. Yeah, they have like their shoes are set up like a retail store. They're all on a shelf. They're like so neat.
Sweet.
Casey, when he gets back built up from being in the resort and in his home, he's volume based. Jamie, the tie guy, you guys know, he has over 60,000
volume.
Yeah. And then there's like Amelia and Rhonda. I know they're volume based. You guys are probably familiar with them from chats here and in the group. And then we have a bunch of people in the group that are volume based. Very few resellers are not. I'm not saying they're not successful. I'm not saying very few resellers are successful at not being volume. But there's very few that aren't volume. And there's reasons for that. I think the best example is the other Robert in the group. That he's, I can't remember his last name. I'm so sorry. I talk to him every day, and I just think of him as the other Robert. He's very active in the group. Dupree?
I don't remember. I'm bad with last names.
Yeah, he's really, really
remember
active.
First name.
He actually, I'm gonna pull up my Facebook group and look. But he's always active. He's always answering questions. He's a really nice guy. He's very knowledgeable and always willing to share. Robert Duryea. His example of volume based was Walmart, and that's a good example. Walmart has really low prices, and they can afford to do that because they sell a lot of the lower prices. And even when stores run sales and stuff like that, they get the loss leaders and they run clearance. They do that so they can sell all the clearance stuff in volume and get you into the store to look at stuff. Now, that doesn't always work out on eBay so well because not everyone's going to look at your whole store. Yeah. I think most eBay sellers are just looking for something. But this long rant was meant to tell you guys that a lot of the resellers that you're familiar with from the community, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook groups, they're volume based. It's not very many that aren't. Even you're familiar with Fred. He does just electronics like DVD, VCR combos. He does it in volume.
Yeah, he does a lot of those.
So I'm going to ask Robert, why a volume-based business?
Do you have to? No. Well, I feel the reason why I do a volume-based business is even if my big items aren't selling, the little items always go. I mean, $10 here, $15 here. They're selling while my $50 to $100 items will be sitting. So in order to keep selling, you need other items in your store. I mean, I've gone thrifting with other people where just drive me crazy. I'll show them like a $25 plush, $20 plush. Nah, it's not good enough. So they'll go to like 10, 15 thrift stores in one day just to find like 5, $50 or $40 items. Well, I'm going to one thrift store, going home, listing the rest of the day. They're still shopping. So a lot of people like that drive me crazy. But,
yeah, and I understand. I understand having a low price point. That's a lot of why Dave and Bill have minimized and why I bought out all their plush. But their price point is reasonable. It's something, I think it's 25, and they do sneakers. It may be 30.
Yeah, that's.
But in their niche, $25-$30 sneakers all day long. If you can find a reasonable price point and say that's your goal and you don't want the $10 and $12 plush and stuff like we do, I understand that, but you have to make sure you can find it, and you should be doing that in volume as well. Like Robert said, you shouldn't be spending an entire day to come home with 5 items.
Yeah, I've seen people that they basically shop. They don't put anything on eBay. They just shop because their price point is so high. It's like they can't find the item, so they're just shopping every single day, listing like 5 items a day, and then shopping again. Me personally, I like to shop once and have enough product for the whole week.
Well, I like wholesale now. I'm spoiled on wholesale since the shutdown.
Well, I got the Gaylords now too, but still.
Yeah, I love the wholesale. I love making a deal with someone and coming out 50 cents or $1, maybe a little over $1 with shipping included per piece for hundreds of pieces coming right to my door, and I can list. I can list quickly, and I'm gonna actually talk about that. That's on here to talk about. You will get quicker with time, so we'll talk about speed. But
for sure.
But that is one of the biggest reasons. Is one, you want to sell a lot. You want to turn sales all the time, and I don't like the fast nickel.
Me either.
Yeah, I know you don't. I don't like the fast nickel. So one of the ways to turn items quickly is to price lower than everyone else and go for that fast nickel. But the unfortunate side of that is, one, you're undermining yourself. You're not making as much profit as you could be, which usually turns into more inventory. And 3, it can drag down the whole market. And I even see it on World of Warcraft. I know you're going to laugh at me, but they have an auction house on World of Warcraft. And when a new crafting region comes out, or a new something or other with every expansion or patch they come out with, you'll see something on the auction house starting out really, really high, and then everyone wants that fast nickel, and it works the same exact way on eBay. So Robert comes in just under my price because he wants to sell before me. So then we'll say Bill and Dave come in right under Robert because they want to sell faster than Robert and me. The next person, the next person, the next person. And it just is this horrible cycle where everyone is trying to be faster than everyone else. And before you know it, when you look at the comps, jeans, Lucky Brand's a good example. I used to sell them for 40 and I have to start them around 20 to 25 now. Because if you look at the comps and the listeds, that's what all the comps and the listeds are at for those jeans, because over time they went from 40 to 39, 38, 37, just as people raced to the bottom. And you can't list them for 40 now. You just can't.
Yeah.
So that is part of the reason why I don't like the fast. That is probably the biggest reason. So if you want to sell a lot, yes, fast nickel, absolutely, you can turn stuff all day. I know people like to say, I'm in a business of selling and not storage.
Yeah.
I'm both.
Yeah, there has to be a medium in the middle. It's just, it's crazy on, people will just say like a Plush, oh, it's been up for 2 weeks. Why isn't it sold? And I'm going to get those messages all the time. It's like, that plush is a year plush. That plush is maybe a 2-year plush. I mean, you can't expect that plush to go out for super fast. I mean, if you have like a video game or an anime special plush, you're going to sell it within a couple of days, maybe even as soon as you list it. But if you have like a Snoopy that's just a generic Kohl's brand, I mean, you're going to be sitting on that guy.
Mm-hmm. But there are other ways to get yourself noticed to try to sell faster. But one of the biggest ways to sell is volume. But that takes time. I think people misunderstand that too. You're not going to, let's just say you were somehow magically able to start a reselling business and list 2,000 items in your first week. That's not possible. But let's say you could. You're still not going to be selling 10 items.
Challenge. No.
You're still not going to sell 10 items a day yet. You have to build up your feedback. You have to build up your, total amount of listings. I will tell you that Keith and I did not see daily, consistent sales every day until we had 1,000 items listed.
Yeah, that's about right.
We would have days where we would have 5 and then none for a day or two. And then 1, and then none, and then 3 days with none. And it was like hit or miss. But once we got to that, we had 1,000 items listed. Like Robert was saying, things have like a sell-through rate. They have a long tail lifetime. So the stuff that you list when you first start and you're new, as you get to 500 listings and 1,000 listings active, this stuff starts selling. But as it's selling, you're still listing and growing. So now you have 1,500 listings. So all that old stuff starts to sell. And by the time you're over 2,000 listings, you have enough listings listed, number one, to sell a lot daily. A 0.5% sell-through rate on used clothing is pretty common. So about half of that for Plush, but let's say 10 a day for over 2,000 listings. And then you're replacing what you're selling and you're still growing. So that is the best way, I feel, because the fast nickel, you're just kicking yourself in the butt. You're not making as much profit as you can. You're ruining it for people like me because I can't stand I can't
stand when I see a tie Beanie Baby even up there for like $2. It's like, how are you shipping that? Why don't you hand it to them? It would be cheaper for you. It's like,
it's not running it for everyone because there's some people that are in the business of selling and not storing. That phrase, don't ever say that phrase to me, please. I'll even ban you from the group for that. But volume-based business is basically like, I saw it in here, a variety of items. You're going to have a variety of items at a variety of price points. So you're going to have a whole variety of stuff, and they're going to be ranging in price. And your $50, $60, $80 items, they're not going to sell as often, like Robert said, as your $12, $15, $20, $25. Not every person in the world has $50 to drop on a pair of jeans or a plush.
Yeah.
But most people can drop 15, 20. So those are what sell. So you have a variety. You don't want to have anything under 12, I don't think. Maybe 10. I clearance out
my new, like, when I start listing, 15 is my new, like, level that I'm going to go at now.
15.
I've been doing that the past year. I still have some that still sell at 10 and 12 because they've been listed for a while, but 15 is my lowest. And I just listed him for 15. Yeah. Little Melissa and Doug.
But you'll probably end up accepting a best offer of 12, right?
If I have to.
So I do clearance items out. I have old items, poop items, stuff that's been around for a long time beyond what I feel is normal for long tail. And I'll $9.99 free ship just to clear it out. So I want to I'm going to have Robert do it first. I want to compare like the merits of a volume-based business over having less sales for more money. So what is the benefit of having volume selling every single day at lower price points rather than just a couple here and there at higher?
Well, for me, for one, is motivation. When you see stuff going out the door, I mean, it motivates me to go and sell again. If I was just working and then one sold or 10 sold a week, it's like, what am I doing this for? I mean, that's me personally. I like to see the volume go out the door. If I don't see 60 on a weekend go out the door, I'm kind of like down in the dumps the next day. But that what motivates me to list more. But to see like 10 go out on a weekend would probably kill me.
Right. But that in perspective, you have like 4,000 active.
I have 3,500. I'm low.
So he should be selling 15 to 20 a day.
Yeah. I usually hit about 60 on the weekend, and that's my normal.
Yeah, we had 2,500, and we would, during good times, COVID screwed everything up, but we used to sell like 10 a day and then like 30 to 40 on the weekend because you sell more.
Yeah, actually, COVID really boosted my sales last year a lot. Because I had a lot of like
COVID, but post-COVID, it's like my numbers.
Yeah, post-COVID has slowed down a lot. But during COVID, since I had a lot of like collectibles and stuff, people loved them. I had the like games. I had like Trivial Pursuit. I had so many different things that my store went crazy during COVID. The plush.
Greg's here. Hi, Greg. Thank you for the super.
Hey,
Greg. Thank you.
But yeah, during COVID, my sales went crazy. I'm actually 40% down from last year. But
he gave us a poop. I'm sorry. He put a poop for him.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
So anyway, I feel like you sell less overhaul if you have higher dollar items, and then you could point out, well, one $50 item is equal to, okay, let's say a $160 item because I can't math. One $60 item is equivalent to three $20 plush, right? But you're not going to sell one $60 item every day. You're going to, if you have 1,000 listings, you're going to sell 3 to 5 of your 15 to 20s every single day. If you have 2,000 listings, you can sell, 8 to 10. I'm saying, there's like a range now because post-COVID's different. It used to be pretty solid. Most people just did 0.5% every day. Yeah. But times are weird.
It's been weird lately, yeah. But yeah, especially when Plush.
Oh, thank you. We got another super sticker. Thank you so much.
Plush, you'll sell a lot of 18 to 20 is about my sweet spot. I love 18 to 20 plush. I'll sell about 8 to 10 of those a day when it's normal. It hasn't been normal lately. But my $50 plush is looking at one a week.
Mm-hmm.
So
like my silver jeans, Miss Me jeans, True Religion, the ones I start at 50. I'll sell 1 or 2 pair a month, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But the $20 Old Navies and Gaps and American Eagles, Vanderbilts, that's 1 a day, 2 a day in the winter, maybe even 3 or 4 a day in the winter. Not so much in the summer, but that just shows you that the Miss Me jeans will sell at $50, so price them accordingly. Please don't raise the bomb. But you're going to sell, by the time you sell one $60 item, you're going to probably have sold dozens.
20, 30.
Dozens.
And how long does it take you to find that $60 item? I mean, when I go out with people thrifting, it seems like they're going after thrift store after thrift store after thrift store. When here, I'm already stocked up. I'm ready to go for the week, and they're still searching.
Yeah, so I absolutely agree. Greg has a good point, too. After the stimulus check debt catches up to everyone, it is going to be beneficial to sell lower dollar items versus the luxury expensive items. I agree.
Yeah.
So I didn't take it politically. It's fine, Greg. So, yeah, and I agree, because when folks are hard up for money, they're going to be less likely to spend $60 on a luxury World of Warcraft plush. But they might need jeans or khakis or something like that for work. I know you don't sell clothes, but that's my example.
I have a lot of t-shirts. I sell this guy.
Yeah, they'll come on to eBay and they'll buy a $15 t-shirt or a $20 pair of khakis for work, because it's still cheaper than buying it new, unless you go to Walmart. But even Walmart prices are getting high.
Who wants to go to Walmart?
Well,
I hate that place.
I don't mind it. I got some cute pajamas with sloths on them.
It's nice when you go in there, but parking and when you get in, there's so many people there.
You just gotta go late at night.
Go leave me alone. I want to shop alone.
But yeah, most people, when times are tough, one thing they're always, and I know you're a plush seller majorly, but one thing folks always need is clothes, because in America it's against the law to go outside naked.
Yeah.
And people have to have clothing, and for most jobs, even jobs that don't have like a dress up code, they'll say you have to wear like black pants or khaki pants or whatever, like waitresses. And when I worked at Target, I had to wear khaki pants. Ew. So that's going to be something people buy no matter what.
Yeah, but people are going to buy plush too, because if they have a screaming child at home that just lost their plush, they have to get it from me.
Well, and that's where I was headed. Like at Christmas time, if the economy's bad and folks don't have a lot of money, they're going to come on eBay to look for toys and plush. And, if you're buying a stuffed animal for a toddler, they're not going to be all snobby and be like, ew, mom, this isn't new. You bought this used.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as long as your pictures look clean and the item looks clean, I mean, you should have no problem selling them.
Yep. So then the next question is do you think it's more work overall to do volume versus just a few items?
No, not to me. I mean, like I've talked about already, just going out and finding the bigger items would drive me crazy, for one. But for me, like when I go to Kohl's and stuff and I just load up when there's 10 items, like 10 Snoopies or 10 Charlie Browns and 10 of these and 10 of those, and I do 4 listings and there's 40 items or 50 items up and 4 listings, that's to me my favorite things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can sell the whole set.
I have on here as a note is it more work? So technically, to photograph and list 10 individual items is more work than listing one individual item. But the sourcing, to me, is where you save the time, and the sourcing becomes more work.
Yeah, I have friends that that's all they do is source. That every single day they're at a thrift store, or they're somewhere because their standards are too high. And like I said, I just want to go to one thrift store for one or a couple hours or just one day and have a week's worth of stuff to list. And that's what I've been doing.
To me, that's more work. I mean, honestly, in an hour, now this comes with time. You get faster with time. If you're brand new and you're looking at me like, oh my God, what did you just say? You can get there too. So in an hour and a half, I can take 7 measurements on 20 pairs of jeans and have them photographed and ready to go. And then it will take me another half hour to get them all listed. Maybe 40 minutes if there's any new to me brands. But for the most part, if I have 20 photos ready, using my templates and my knowledge, I don't really comp jeans anymore.
Yeah.
So that's 2 hours, 2.5 hours tops. I can get 20 pairs of jeans up. And those 20 pairs of jeans, I'm going to buy wholesale, or I'm going to go and find really good deals at the thrift on these bread and butter items and just grab all 20, and I'm going to go home. So let's say the whole day takes me 3 hours. I've got 20 pairs of jeans up. People that are just looking for the diesel jeans and the rock revival jeans and the expensive jeans, 3 hours later, they're still going to be putting wear and tear on their car, using their gas, which costs money, spending their time, driving in traffic,
eating out.
Yeah, eating out. That takes out of your budget as well. And how many pairs are they going to come home with in 3 hours that I have sourced, measured, photographed, and listed?
Yeah.
I mean, in between there, we do wash and dry everything, but just for the brevity of my example, what if I had 20 pairs that I had washed and dried yesterday that were ready to go, and those ones could go in the wash and then the dryer while I'd work on those 20, let's say that.
Yeah.
So now I have 40 pairs ready to go in 2 days, and they have sourced maybe 3 pairs if they're lucky and went all over town.
And they haven't even listed them yet. When you maybe have sold one already.
Yes. Actually, when I'm answering Greg, by the way, I'm just like, yes, suddenly. Greg, we did, I should say, Keith and I. A couple of times after everything opened back up, we went and we were highly not impressed. We got very spoiled on the wholesale. And so we went to one thrift store, and even with our low standards and being willing to do bread and butter, he came home with 2 shirts one time and maybe 3 the next. Mm-hmm. And I found like 2 pairs of jeans, and I was like, no, I'll go back to wholesale. That may change when we move to Florida, you guys, because thrifting's a lot different down there. Well, I already know, because in 2019, pre-COVID, I've been to Florida, and I've been to there in the midst of the shutdown, and I've been there after. We went, I'm trying to think how many stores. It wasn't very many. Now, we did go to bad time of day because Casey and I don't really plan that well sometimes. But Sydney was with us, and Keith and me and Casey. And I guess when you work from home, sometimes you don't think about the rest of the world when you plan. We ended up in rush hour traffic, so that did eat up a bit of time.
Nice.
But other than that, he took us to like 3 or 4 stores in the Tampa area, and it took up 3 giant boxes and cost $60 to ship home. And I had hundreds of items when I got back to Pittsburgh. Hundreds. And we're talking, I had Miss Me jeans for days, stuff I never find in Pittsburgh. I had 10 pairs of Miss Me jeans, silver jeans, $2.50 a piece, $3 a piece. They're $7 here. And Keith came home with this huge like stack of 200 shirts, just pearl snaps,
right.
Robert Graham's, and so I can tell you that it's so much different down there. There's a lot more variety. The people down there, no offense to people in Pennsylvania, but y'all know this is true. The people in Florida have more money, so the stuff they donate is better. The only thing is they didn't have a lot of plush, and here we had the store with the 50-cent plush.
Well, give and take. You can always buy a Gaylord, and I'll ship it to you.
I mean, I've got hundreds and hundreds. I have like pallets waiting for me out there already.
Yeah, so. I was trying to get Casey to ship them to me.
Never mind. They're mine. Mine. What was it? What do they say in Nemo? Mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I might go back to thrifting just for the thrill of it, the hunt. But as far as
hitting the bins, if you saw any of my videos, so I've been having fun every week or every other week hitting the bins, and that's been a great time. I mean, I don't really need the inventory, but it's just getting out of the house. It's been like a year and a half of sitting home doing nothing, so just getting out, hitting the bins has been fun.
Bill and David left. You guys are no fun.
Yeah, what the heck?
I'll be back out there in a couple of weeks again. Hey, Danny, welcome in. I'll see you then too. So Thrifty Space Queen, it took me a long time to get to that point. That's what I'm saying. It comes with repetition and time. When I first started doing jeans, I mean, it probably took me 30 minutes. I was like, what? On one pair. But I've just got a system now where I have a stack, I have a table, I have a measuring tape, if y'all have seen my videos, and I just pull them off and I watch TV. It's really fast.
Same thing with me and Plush. The first few times, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. If the lighting wasn't right, nothing was right. Now I just throw it against the wall, take a few pictures, put the measuring stick next to it, take another picture, and I'm done. But once you get the hang of it, it really goes super fast.
Yeah, and you have to get there. It comes with time. You're not going to be
a lot of repetition.
Yeah, sorry. But you're not going to be like your first year in and know every single type of plush or plush character. And I mean, there's still characters I have to look up that are like in new kids shows that I'm not familiar with because my kids are adults pretty much.
You forget when you pull it out like, oh man, this is familiar, but what the heck is this stupid thing?
Yeah. And I find new to me brands because, again, Pittsburgh doesn't – I find a ton of American Eagle Gap, Old Navy here.
Yeah.
So when I get wholesale lots, I get new to me brands. So I look stuff up sometimes, but here's the thing, if you're doing a volume-based business and you're willing to do bread and butter, you are going to start listing some of the same brands over and over, some of the same characters, some of the same brands of plush, and you're going to start to know and just be able to do it without comping or looking them up.
Heck, I had 100 Hello Kitty in one day. So I know what I did. I've done Elmo too. Elmo, I had like 75 I did in one day. So that's just one. You just make one template and you go for it, and that's it.
Letitia has a good point. Eating out is not healthy, and it can be expensive. I mean,
I've been pretty bad with it.
Dave Ramsey, says stay on your budget. So I do enjoy eating out, but we try to keep it to once a week, and that's like ingrained in my head from Dave Ramsey. Go out once a week. You have a budget you can spend. But for the most part, I prefer to cook at home. I like cooking, but I don't burn myself.
See, that's what you get. If you ate out, you wouldn't have got burned.
Hi, Brian. Welcome him to Brian. So some sirens are coming. I think I mentioned in my yard sale video this week too that if Keith and I were used to go out all day yard selling, we would pack a lunch. And we're not poor; we could afford to eat out, but it just makes more sense for the budget because it adds up. And I have other things I'm interested in. If I could save $10 from eating out so that I could buy a new diamond dot painting or be halfway to a new Stephen King novel, to me, that's a more important place to spend my money. So everyone spends their money differently, and you have to budget and decide what's important to you.
Yeah, you have to do what makes you happy. If eating out is one of your things, then go ahead and eat out. But if you have to cut back on other areas, if watching YouTube, you pay for the what the heck? You have the monthly subscription to like YouTube, or so you cut out eating out. It's whatever makes you happy and whatever's better for you.
What you can afford and what's within your budget. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Everybody's different. Some people like fancy big cars. I could be a millionaire, and you guys, I would still drive a 20-year-old Buick.
Yeah, and I'm opposite. I've always liked to have one new car. Never liked to deal with repairs and anything. So even though I was dirt poor, I would have a decent car. Like
I will never.
At the most.
I always joke with Casey, like, the only way people can tell that I have money is if you look at my Stephen King collection. That's where my money goes. Because I could be a millionaire and I would still wear Skechers, jeans, graphic tees I find at the thrift because I found the best graphic tees at the thrift.
My grandfather ingrained in my mind, as soon as your car hits 100,000, it's time to get a new one.
I buy beater cars for a couple grand and I'll run them into the ground. Yeah. And I buy another one. But some people like fancy cars and they look at me like I'm nuts. Like, how do you spend that much money on books? Because they make me happy. I like the variant art covers. I like the first editions. So
you spend it on books. I spend it on a car. That's it.
And video
I mean,
games.
it's not an expensive car, though.
Spend it on video.
My other car is only a smart car. I paid $6,000 for it new. So,
Della's here, and Mary says she used to pack her. I used to take my lunch to work every day. I'd make a salad, and it was healthy.
Yeah,
now I sit at home. It's not.
But I kind of had to. I was working at the LA Times. There was nothing open at like 4 a.m. when I got done.
Yeah, we until I worked in a house. The last job I had where I got hurt, when I was a house coordinator, I worked in like a group home, and so whatever I made the girls for dinner and lunch, the staff would eat with them. It was in the budget for the house, so I would just make big crock pot meals, and then the girls would have lunch for the next day. So I love to cook. Okay, back on track. This is all valuable information, though, because most of us, including myself, when I started reselling, I didn't have a lot of money. I had just gotten hurt at work. I couldn't find a job anywhere else, and this was sink or swim. If I didn't make it at eBay, I was going to have to go on disability, which they probably would have denied, honestly, because of my age and because I was suing my employer. So this was like the only job I could do and not get fired, because my limitations are very bad. But I had to learn how to budget, and I found Dave Ramsey, and I got out of debt. And as we started to make more money, we just continued to live the same way with maybe a few more perks. So I think it's valuable information for resellers. When you start to see the money come in, don't go crazy. Keep some back in savings, reinvest in your business and allow it to grow even more. And then treat yourself with a little extra.
Yeah, Netflix now. Yay.
Yeah, for a long time I didn't have I didn't have
Netflix till last year when the pandemic started. That's when I had Netflix.
Well, we cut out cable years ago and got Netflix. But I had all of my mom's first edition Stephen King books. And I lost them in a move with a marriage, long story. And I went a lot of years without Stephen King books. And so I've just started replacing them this last year.
Got to get them back.
So, I mean, it's not to say you always have to live like you're poor, but I think you should live like you're poor and treat yourself to what's important to you.
It's actually hard for me to spend money. Even though I have some money now, it's like I have to actually force myself to spend money sometimes.
Well, it's ridiculous because this is totally sidetracked. But as we were packing up this house and going through stuff and deciding what was donate, what we were keeping, what's worth moving to Florida, I found a lot of things that I had to laugh at myself, and Keith too. Like, we had a drawer full of socks with holes. We don't wear them, but they were there. And I'm like, why the F are we keeping these? And I'm like, Keith, we're not poor anymore. But we were 10 years ago. You had to keep the holes with socks because you may have to wear them.
Okay, just get this and you can fix them. There you go.
And I feel like maybe him and I, like 10 years later, still can't get out of that port. Like you said, it hurts to spend money.
Yeah,
I had this makeup brush that had broken off the stick, and I was like, and he's like, new sets of brushes are $9 on Amazon. I'm like, I know, but I don't feel right.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts to spend sometimes.
We literally found all these things that we had to throw away or donate that we were like, it's like we're still poor. It's like we lived through the Depression and we feel like we have to keep everything.
I want the 99-cent plush. I can't throw it out.
And like we had, I called it the bathroom graveyard. I had a whole cabinet of soap and shampoo bottles upside down with like this much in there. And Keith's like, "Are you saving those for when you can't afford soap? Because you can afford soap now."
Yeah, I pour water in those and I shake them up and I use them till they're gone.
But I had a grandma that went through the Depression, and I got a lot of my money saving and stuff like that from her.
Yeah.
And if you knew anybody who went, they stock up on everything and keep everything. But we donated it. We got rid of it, and we bought we bought a lot of new stuff, and we will be buying more new stuff. It's going to be.
I know it's hard to get rid of it though. I go through the struggles too. Here, Mary says it best. If you've ever been broke, it's hard to get out of that mentality. Yeah.
It really is. And we all start that way. So when you start to make the money, just remember that once upon a time you were broke, so you don't have to start spending it like you're Trump or one of the Hiltons. You can rein it in a little bit. And then just find your thing. Everybody's got one or two things that are important to them, whether it's going to the movies, a World of Warcraft subscription, Netflix, cars. Everybody's got that one or two things.
Hey, my movies are open up in 9 days. I gotta go back.
I get to see Black Widow in the theater.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. That's such a nerd. Okay. So, I mean, that's valuable information, though, how to budget your money. Because the more money you can save, the more you can reinvest. The more you reinvest, the more inventory you have. The more inventory you have, the more you can list. And the more you list, the better off you are, because that's volume-based business. So, I want to talk about bread and butter. And you already said your lowest price point right now is $15.
15, yeah. I mean, I've sell lower because I have them still listed from when I had them lower, but my lowest price point now is 15. That's plenty. I get hundreds of thousands of plush for 15, and that's a perfect level at where I can be with plush.
So, are bread and butter items worth it?
Oh yeah. I'm sure I paid this house off with my bread and butter items. There was one I bought. There was a case of like temporary tattoos. They were selling the cases of them for. They were $3 a case of these things. I have sold. I'm not kidding you. Thousands of them at $9, free shipping. I mean, shipping them is only $3, but I've sold thousands of them. I know it's paid so much.
I'm just saying hi to some people in the chat. I think bread and butter items are worth it. Okay, at the beginning of the show, I said the thing I hate to hear resellers say is, I'm in the business of selling and I'm making be selling. My answer to them is, cool for you, but bread and butter pays my bills. Bread and butter put food on my table. Bread and butter paid off my debt. Bread and butter is what we saved up to move to Florida.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's paid for so much. I used to sell the video games, made about $4 in profit each one, but I've sell through hundreds of them. That's when I started. When I do my website, when I started my website, I wanted to get some notice on it, so I would buy a bunch of games that I knew I wouldn't get a lot of money for, but I'd make $3, $4, $5 each. And I'd sell hundreds of them. So, I mean, it got me, my website got out there and making money.
Mm-hmm.
Bread and
butter.
I
think bread and butter items are worth it because I think they're easier to list. I think they're faster to list. I think they're swift. Especially like the last wholesale I bought from Greg. I don't know if Greg is still here. You still here, Greg? There were a ton of Gans Webkins in the bottom of the last... he puts them in. Did yours come in vacuum?
Yeah.
I can't think of the vacuum sealed bags. So I got all the big ones out, and I told you before we came on, I ended up like just selling all the big ones locally or just giving them away to the hospital because the children's hospital took some stuff from us. But I got to the very bottom of the last one, and there was like, I don't even remember. There were so many Gans Webkins, right? So they're little. And you just put them on the thing, and you're like, click, turn them over, click, get the tags, click, next to the measuring tape, click. And I could photograph like 40 of them in an hour. So I know there was more than 40. I'm pretty sure they came from Greg, but there was a ton of them, and I worked on them for a whole week. So there was like a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
But then I just got to where I just had a Gans Webkins template, like you did for Elmo.
Yeah.
And I was whipping out like 30 seconds a listing.
Yeah, they're super fast once you get a template on one.
Yep. All I have to do is replace that number from their tag.
And the name.
And the name. And the inches. And most of them, I didn't even comp. I left them right at $15. Some were 12.
That's what I would do. I just put them all at 15.
Well, I peeked, and I'm glad I did, because there was a brown bear and a penguin. The penguin sold for 16 something. He was just in my what sold. And then the brown bear was like 18.
Cool.
So I do kind of peek sometimes if it's new to me, but I'm saying they're swift. And if you get a pile of something, even if it's new to you, by the time you're done with them, you're an expert on them and you're fast at them.
Oh my God, when I used to do the Thai Beanie Babies, I knew the UPC code almost by heart. The first 7 numbers, I knew I wouldn't have to look up the first 7 numbers of the UPC code. I would type it in and then look at the last the last few numbers. Everything gets super fast once you get the hang of it.
Yep. And again, I know I already said this, but I think it bears repeating. If you're doing bread and butter, if you're doing volume, you will find that you're listing the same things time and again. You're sourcing the same things, the same brands, same characters. And when you get to the point where you have 2,000 listings up or 3,000 or more, by then, most of what you list is going to start being rated.
Could be.
They're not coming here for me. You just get to a point where you don't have to comp anymore. And like, you guys might seem impressed that I can measure that many jeans in an hour, but that was just with time. I used to be really slow, and now I like to think I'm a measuring tape ninja. I'm like, I'm really fast at it. I just put a Disney movie on or some true crime because I'm that weird person who likes murder and Disney. And I just
I list so many plush that actually, if I know that my plush sold within the last 90 days, I just go to the solds and relist my own plush. So I've done that like 4 or 5 times the past month. I'm like, oh, I just sold this guy. I just go in there, relist him, and it looks the same, right? Yep, no damage, nothing. Relist him, and I'm done. It takes 2 seconds to relist him. Yep.
So if you're getting the same stuff like that, like I think I have like 5 different Gans Webkins frogs right now listed, and they all came off of 2 different solds I had, and they're slightly different. So I just went in the solds and did them all, and I just made the title slightly different for the ones that are the same because you can't have duplicate listings.
Yeah.
So instead of spotted toad, I'd put toad spotted or whatever.
Yeah, you have to just switch it around. But I did that with Lammy from Doc McStuffins. I had like 5 of them. I kept finding them. Every time I sold one, I would find it. I'm like, oh, just go back and relist.
I love Doc McStuffins. By the way, that's the other thing. A lot of bread and butter items sell fast, like hotcakes. Yeah. You wouldn't think it, but when Doc McStuffins was really, really hot, like right pre-COVID, I couldn't keep even the $12 or $15 small, any of the characters. I couldn't keep them in my store for more than 3 days.
Paw Patrol, too. Paw Patrol one.
Paw Patrol, Doc McStuffins, especially the lamb and the hippo. I think they're harder to find.
Yeah. Those just fall off the shelf. Even the ties, even the Thai Beanie Baby versions, they're just gone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Paw Patrol, Gans Webkins is a really good bread and butter, I think.
Kohl's, I do a lot of Kohl's real fast.
The Kelly toys that are like the claw machine toys, the elephants. Every elephant I've put in my store, I've sold for $18 to $20 within a week.
Yeah, I just sold an elephant. A lot of Australian animals too. I've been doing a lot of those.
Koalas, the kangaroos.
Those super, just especially when the wildfires were happening, they would just flew out my store real fast.
Yes. Puppets.
Yeah. Folk Manus.
Yeah, I sold a Folk Manus wolf puppet. There is a video that exists in the world of me playing with it, but that will never see the light of day. Because I was in my pajamas with absolutely no makeup on, and I had my glasses on, so I looked like my absolute worst. We were doing shipping, and I had it, and I was, woo, where was London? And I was doing all this funny stuff with it, and Keith recorded it, and he's like, that was great. I'm like, I can't put it anywhere.
Put it at the end of the video. Your new ending to the video.
And then I put the wolf right in the camera, and I was going, bark, bark, bark. Anyway, yes, I am 12 and I play with my toys.
Oh, a good one that I've been finding is the PetSmart ones. Those have been selling super fast. Those the ones with the squeaker on them. They have new ones now. They even have a year on their like scarf. They bring them out every Christmas. And those, as soon as I list them, they sell super fast.
Yeah, dog toys sell really well. I'm going to hit some comments real quick. Snack Raven Wild has a good point here about traffic is key. You have the loss leaders of the lower items, and you get them in your store. Now, on eBay, I don't know that people are going to look through your whole store because usually they're just searching for one thing. But the thing is if you do what I say and you do all the best business practices I talk about, you guys probably have sales running. So If they're looking, you got to have the markdown sales, but you also have to have the buy so many get discounted sales.
Yeah.
So if they're searching for Doc McStuffin's Haley Hippo, and you have her, and they see the big red banner that says buy 2 plush, get your third 50% off or 25% off, they're going to go, I wonder if this seller has more Doc McStuffins, because if I buy 2 of them, I get 1 free or 50% off or whatever. Then they do go into your store and they start looking through all your plush, and you may not have any other Doc McStuffins, but maybe you have a Bullwinkle that, I remember this from my childhood and he's only $12 and I want this sale, and they'll buy them. It's all about philosophy and psychological games with buyers. It really is. So you got to run your sales. You got to get people in your store. You got to have those loss leaders. You want the traffic, but also for Cassini and the algorithm. If you have loss leaders and lower end bread and butter items and you're having sales every single day and your store stays active, guess what happens? You sell more.
Yay.
Because an active store is a happy store. I say it all the time. Alice says, I just started my eBay store in April. I started with some stuff around the house and a few clothes. I don't have my glasses on. From Goodwill. If you were starting over today, what? Oh, goodness gracious, Alice. That is a good question. And I think I've done whole videos on everything I did wrong. I bought so many Beanie Babies. I bought so much poop.
Yeah, that's fun.
But that's how we learned. I mean, Keith and I didn't do a lot of YouTube. We watched Casey, and that was about it.
Yeah.
We just bought and learned as we went, like trial and error.
Basically, that's what you had to do. I'm still doing that because I just buy in bulk anyhow. I have no idea what's coming. Unless I go to the bins and pick it out myself, I don't know what's coming when I do like the Gaylords of Plush. I mean, those 9 Gaylords, I still have a few bags over there. I don't know what's in them.
That is a cringy video. Well, it depends on which Beanie Baby. There's 2. There's the very first video I ever did on YouTube, which is cringy. And then there's the recent one that your Beanie Babies are worthless. Which, I was about to say,
which one?
It pissed a lot of people off, by the way. Oh, well. They might be worth in your Beanie Baby club, but on eBay they're not.
I still get it. People just thinking their Princess Diana Beanie Baby's worth $1,500. I'm like, okay, I just sold mine for $12. Take mine. Sell it for $1,500 if you want.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just tell Alice one piece of advice for someone new each.
You first.
Me first. Do your repetition. Try to do like all jeans one day, or all shirts one day, or all plush one day, because repetition increases your speed as far as listing, but it will also increase your knowledge and your ability to learn and comp.
My biggest thing is people not starting. I mean, they talk about it and they don't do it. I have several friends, I want to do eBay all through the pandemic and everything else. They still haven't listed a freaking thing.
Did they buy some stuff though?
They have so much stuff.
I have so many friends
in the corner of the stuff they pulled from their houses and their shelves and everything else. And it's like, they want me to come over. I'm like, I'm not coming over.
I have so many friends.
I'm not going to do it for you.
Bought thrift stores full of stuff and never started.
People just don't start. I mean, stop talking about it. Actually get on the computer, figure out what you have to do, get eBay situated and set up, and actually just start listing things. The more you list, the more you're going to get faster and quicker at it. And the more you're going to find out what items you like, what you don't like, and what things irritate you. Like shoes irritate me. I won't touch them. But yeah, you have to find out what your actual niche is.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't know till you do it.
Yeah, you got to learn somehow. The Beanie Babies actually went to a domestic. They finally took them I tried all through shutdown. All those Beanie Babies. They went to a shelter. So, like, for women who are battered and go there with their kids, they'll get a free toy.
I got one for you.
Oh, I know his name. Hold on. No, I don't.
I don't either. His name is Bird. Let's see.
They had
Stretch.
Stretch.
That's it. We should have known that.
Plush and true crime. Yeah, it's always fun when I'm photographing super duper cute Plush and in the background. And then he raped her and murdered her and buried her in the woods.
I listen to like Judge Judy in the background and stuff like that.
So, hey, Frenchie's here. Welcome in. It has been a hot minute. I saw her last in Vegas. Wow. This is a good question. Volume selling isn't a race to the bottom, just lower end brands. It's not really lower end. Lower end would be poop, which is the stuff you want to avoid. Please avoid the poop. Avoid the poop.
Avoid the poop.
Avoid the poop. Lower end brands would be poop, like Walmart brands, but some Target brands are bread and butter.
I've found some good Walmart brands lately. They've been doing a lot of good Plush.
Yeah, well, I'm talking clothes. Sorry.
So,
oh
yeah.
But volume is basically filling your store up with a bunch of bread and butter, and then having a sprinkling of bolo and high-end luxury items. Is that a good analysis? Is that an analysis everyone can get on board with?
No analysis. I'm good.
Go. He always says that. Go.
Just do it. It drives me crazy. Just not doing anything. But talking about it. Like they do something.
But yeah, you don't want to fill up with lower end. You want to, I would say your target bottom price should be 12. Roberts is 15. I don't start anything lower than 12 ever on eBay, Mercari, or Poshmark.
Yeah, I like 15. That way, if I take 10% off and if it's a Plush that I don't really care about, it'll go down to 12.
Does putting your store on time away make it stay active? No. When you're away, you're away.
Yeah.
It puts out your handling time and everything. I don't think it makes it active.
I haven't done the new time away yet since they changed it.
We did in January when we went to Florida. It was easier and better to deal with than that old way where you had to put your handling time out manually and do the vacation.
And then click down a day and click down a day and click down a day.
It does it for you. And you can choose. You can now choose to continue to sell or not. So you can put it away, not selling, which is what Casey did while he was in the resort. We put it on away, still selling because we only went away for 10 days. And it was easier to bounce back. The old way, it used to take like a week or two of constant working and listing.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
To bounce back, but we bounced back like right away. So
that's good.
Woo! 4-foot angel plush for $3.95. I'm still waiting to see if my angel comes back. I'm trying to see. I just don't like the reflection. I feel like you guys can't see my eyeballs, and that's.
I got my dog. About a 3-foot dog.
Did you hear about our angel? They wanted to return it because they changed their mind the day I shipped it, or that night.
They don't usually return, though.
No, they didn't. I still put it in my what sold video. And I'm like, if it comes back, she's not getting to or fro shipping. Because
90% of people that change their mind and you ship it out, it doesn't come back.
Yeah, when we went away, we didn't list. We kind of just when we go away, we typically don't even do our unsolds in the morning. Like we literally just shut down and turn off and step away. I'll still answer offers on my phone and stuff, but
I would rarely do that when I'm away.
You gotta
know, I used to bring my stuff with me. When I started eBay, I used to bring tubs of stuff with me into the places where the resort, whatever it was. I would have the guy bring it up there. I'd have like 4 or 5 tubs of video games or whatever, and they're all going up to the room. I used to do everything and not even shut down my store. I didn't have to because I had everything.
Yeah, I used to like in eBay Open in 2018. I got up every morning and did my unsolds and all that stuff, and stayed on the routine. Now I'm to the point where I drug my laptop to Bill and Dave's. It never came out of the bag all weekend.
Yeah. You get to that point, and
yeah, that's
the phone every once in a while. Hey, got an offer. Okay, I don't want to take it.
Yulia, am I saying your name right? It's a very pretty name, Yulia. She's just starting. Oops, I highlighted the wrong one. So just getting started. Look, Robert used to drag his inventory with them. I used to drag my laptop and still get on and lit. I would have drafts ready to list while I'm in Vegas. I'm like,
yeah, keep your store active. Do a few listings every day.
Yeah. My biggest pet peeve are the ones who buy something and then proceed to ask pertinent questions. That bothers me as well. But when I have just shipped it and then you want to change your mind,
I have rules. If I picked it, it's getting shipped. I don't cancel nothing.
Get that. Shut the front door. But yeah, things change too from when you're beginning to where we are.
Yeah.
You get to a point where you're like, I have never seen this plush. I've never seen this character, and I don't feel like comping today, and I'm just going to guess at 15. Yeah, don't do that if you're new. Please comp. But don't always, like I tell people, comping is so super important, but you can't always look at solds and listings, especially with plush, because there's too many people who don't know the value of what they have.
I'm in the mid-range on plush.
Yeah, but too many people don't know how to price it.
Oh, it drives me crazy. I watched some what's sold videos, and it's like, really? You sold that for $10? I just sold it for $22. What are you doing?
So if comping is important, but I always tell people, look at my store or look at Robert's store for plush. Yeah. Look at me or Megan for jeans.
What they're doing.
Look at someone you trust and know, because there's nothing worse than selling something to me for less than it's worth, and it's not being greedy. Let's say this is poop. By the way, Robert sent me this poop like 2 years ago whenever I was having really bad migraines. And he said, here's a poop to make you feel better. So Robert, that's why the poop series. He was here to say hi to Robert.
You can't touch this.
It still works. All right.
You can't touch this.
He sings. All right. Let's say he's worth $25. Let's say that. And I sell him for $12 because everyone else is selling him for $12. Minus fees and shipping, I'm looking at profiting maybe $8, right? So if I could get plush for $1, I can reinvest that into 8 more plush. But if I had sold him at his worth, I have $13 more.
Yeah,
so
and you have lunch too.
I could have lunch too, or I could have 21 new plush to list.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a no-brainer. I cannot stand people who sell stuff too low. It is one of my biggest pet peeves, and that is my hill I have chosen to die on. Is that what they say nowadays? Is this the hill this is the hill I have chosen to die on.
That's it.
I will fight you. I will ban you from my group if you give this advice out. Do not price too low. Yeah, Robert's an okay friend. He's like,
yeah,
he's like, I'd begrudgingly cancel. Yeah.
Not me. I'm an ass.
I cancel
and I'm shipping it.
I cancel and block them. I'm like, you're never doing that again. Keith says I'm block happy. My block paragraph on the back end is like
I have like 6. You have like
it's huge.
Encyclopedia.
I'm like, you're an ass, but I'm catty. I'm like, well, you just asked me a stupid question. Not buying from me.
Well, I kind of block people. I just don't answer them. Someone comes up to and says, would you measure this XL men's shirt or X or a shirt. I'm like, I'm not answering you. I ain't taking that thing out and measuring it. It's an XL. Buy it or not. Leave me alone.
Very good point, Greg. When people say, I got it for free, or I got it for 50 cents, or I only paid $1. Okay. I could pay only $1 for something and make enough money to reinvest into 10 pieces for my business or 20 pieces for my business.
How much did they pay for the Superman comic? How much is it going for? Come on.
Yeah.
29 cents, 29 cents. How much is this?
It has nothing to do with your cost of goods and everything to do with the bottom line. The more profit you make, the more capital you have. And if you ever want to grow your inventory or even get into wholesale or branch out and crosspost, or, even if you want to start a YouTube channel, let me be very honest and frank here about YouTube. It is a time suck and it hardly makes money.
I know.
It is a time suck. And if you want to start a YouTube channel and spend the time that it takes to make daily videos or even a couple a week, that's time that you're taking away from listing. That's ultimately you would make more money listing, I think, than YouTube for the first couple.
I think so.
At least for the first 5 years. And I don't even think I'm at 5 years. What am I at? I'm like on year 3. So in order to grow your business, you've got to make more money. So if you can make more profit on stuff by not having the mentality of racing to the bottom, then maybe you're making enough money that you can dedicate an hour or two a day to YouTube or a week. But every hour I spend on YouTube is like 20 items I could have listed on eBay.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm fast. So let's say I'm not fast. Let's say I listed 10. If each one was minimum $10 profit, I'm losing out on $100 to $200 on eBay every hour I spend on YouTube. And I do not make $100 an hour on YouTube. Trust me.
I'm lucky to make that a month sometimes. Especially when I started out, I'm like, oh, yeah, I hit 100 a month.
Lisa says, I appreciate it. Yeah, we do it because we love it. Those of us that stick with it, even in the beginning, before you're monetized, in the first couple years where you're not making money, you know that you're giving up $200 to make a video, but it's fun and you like it. And I love connecting with my subscribers. I like live shows because you get to talk in real time to people. I like having guests on. I have made some truly, really good lifelong friends because of YouTube. Casey, Robert, Bill and Dave, Danny, Katie and Vicky, Mel and Deb, Holly, Donna, Jamie. I should mention Jamie. I play WoW with Jamie like every night. But I've made some really great friends through YouTube. I love connecting with my subscribers. And then, like, I call it the fallout from YouTube. But the fallout's kind of a negative connotation. But the positive after effects, the messages I get, the emails, the people in the group, just all of them. I love it. I love YouTube. So, yeah, we don't make a lot of money, but if you see us still doing it, it's because we love you guys and we appreciate you.
First year I made nothing. So pretty much nothing the first year. I even called you one day and was like, is this worth it?
Yeah, I remember he called me on the phone. He's like, I think I quit. And I'm like, no, you don't. I'm like, no, you don't.
On the edge. I'm like, I couldn't think of anything else to put up there or anything else. I'm like, so help me.
I think that was like one of the times I was like, just come on my show tonight.
Yeah. Well, you were on the edge of quitting or taking a break too. And I'm like, you can't take a break on me too.
Yeah, I think that was when I took a month-long break last year.
Yeah, you took a break and you're like, since I'm taking a break, go. You do it. I'm like, oh, all right.
Hi, Pam.
I'm glad I got through that.
Hi, Pam. Oh, wait, we got another super sticker. I got to go. That one is a little rose. How cute. Thank you so much. Yulia. I hope I'm saying her name right. It's a pretty person. Or pretty person. That's a pretty name. She's pretty, too. But I like her name. Catching up on the comments, guys.
Cool.
There seems to be a race to the bottom in some.
Yeah.
I follow disjointed content very well. Have you ever watched a live show? Talk about disjointed. and all over the place. I think the problem is that, like I was saying earlier in the video, and if you missed any part of this video, you can always go back and watch the replay and get what you missed. But I was talking about how if, that's the rate, the fast nickel is coming in just below the person that has the highest price. And if everybody does that, you bring it down. Then ultimately what happens is it's down here now, but new resellers come in every day. They hear my advice, Robert's advice, Casey's advice. Hey, you guys need to learn how to comp. You need to price your stuff by looking at the solds. They don't know any better. When I first started, I didn't know Miss Me jeans from American Eagle jeans. I didn't know. So if I looked in the comps and I looked in the solds and I saw that American Eagles sold for $100,000, I would have believed it. If I saw that Miss Me sold for $5,000, I would have believed it because I didn't know any better. So the new people come in and they see these turds, selling their, vintage Garfields for $5 free ship.
Yeah, making a whole dollar, if that.
Yeah, there's another race coming. And just for first class. So guess who that affects?
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh yeah, there's the Facebook group link, you guys. We have a lot of fun in there. Robert's a mod.
Cool.
I think Bill and Dave are mods in there.
When I was new, I did the same thing. I was like, who would ever pay $20 for a plush? I mean, it's got to be $10. I mean, so I would list them low too. You just got to learn. You got to learn from your mistakes. I mean, I know I list so much low, many items lower than they should have been when I started.
Oh my God, me too. Do you see me like?
My brain, I'm like, I wouldn't pay no $20 for this plush, but it's not me buying it. That's what it is. It's somebody else buying it. They see the value in it. You might not, but they will. So
exactly, like we talked about earlier, everybody has what they'd spend their money on.
Yeah, you have to get out of your own head. You can't.
I'm going to throw Casey under the bus here. I look at his car, and I'm like, who in the hell would spend that much money on a stupid car? My 20-year-old Buick gets me where I'm going, and it's reliable, and I pay $30 a month in gas and go like hundreds of miles, right? Good gas mileage, all that. But to Casey, that car has value, and he likes it.
He likes it.
And so I have to get out of my own head. Just because I wouldn't spend money on a car doesn't mean Casey wouldn't. Just because I think Danny left, but Danny likes sports a lot, and he would buy. He would probably, if he had the chance, buy Steelers tickets, and I would be like, "You're crazy."
Yeah.
I think sports are stupid. But then someone could look at my Stephen King collection or the amount of money we spend on video games and be like, y'all are nerds and you're wasting your money, but to us it's valuable and it's important.
Yeah.
So
you have to get out of your own head.
Yeah, you have to get out of your own head because what's valuable to someone else may not be valuable to you. The sell-through rate and how long things tail and the long tail, it takes a while. It really does. I just did a live show a week or two ago. I can't remember on sell-through rate. Maybe it was Memorial Day, right after Memorial Day weekend. That was a while ago. But I did one on the reality of sell-through rates, and I showed screenshots of our research that we did for our guides to prove it, and showed you the math on how to figure it out. Most plush takes 6 months or more to sell. Most.
Yeah, I know what it is.
And most clothes take 3 to 6 months.
Anime, video games will go super fast, but most plush will take forever.
Are you giving out free Gaylords and I don't know about it?
That's my sister. She's just being a turd.
It's my sister. That's funny. Yeah, ignore eBay, by the way. If you're new and eBay sends you suggestions, ignore it.
Oh, for sure. I hate that button. Consider lowering. I mean, what?
Oh, and yes.
When you do a counter offer, oh my God, consider lowering. Most prices range between this and this, and it's not even the same item or anything that they're going off of it. Oh my God, it drives me crazy when I see that sign. I try not to even look. I'm like this. It's going to say consider lower. I'm not going to look at it because it's just going to get me upset.
just ignore them. And I tell people to ridiculously low offers. So we are down to 1,800 listings, but at one time we had 3,000. And we'll get back up there. We just cut back for our move. We get dozens of offers every single day, and most of them are $5.
Yeah.
And I counter with 10% off, and they'll buy it or they won't.
Yeah.
It takes 2 seconds. Like, I don't have time for that. I can't. Whatever. You have time, or you don't want to make a sale.
Yeah, I just counter whatever I feel like is a good rate, and if they don't like it, it's too bad. I mean, if they counter with like $1 under my asking, okay, take it, go away. But I mean, if they're going to be a turd and go to 6 next or 7, it's like, ugh. I
never decline.
I just stick at the same offer.
Yeah, I just go back with the same offer over and over again. I like the ones that go back down $1 because then I'll go back up $1. I'm like,
yeah, I love those. Those are funny.
Like people are like, I'm not sorry for that.
A penny, I'll do a penny too. I love playing with them.
It takes a second to counter, and I'm passive aggressive. So
yeah, I'll mess with those people all day.
Hi, kitty. There's a comment here for you, Robert. It depends on how bad your child wants it too.
Yep, that's why I love Plush, and I'll put up any Plush. And I've done like different places that I've never even heard of, different like zoos and stuff. I'm like, oh, what's this ever to sell?
Cat.
You get a cat butt.
Every time your cat comes on,
you get a cat butt.
She shines me her butt.
There you go. Now you get a cat face.
Oh, where's the face? Where's the kitty face? See, I don't even talk to them anymore. I used to when I was new. I would type out, "Thanks for your interest in this item. I can't do what you're asking, but I can do 10% off." Or I would say, "Hey, I'm offering free shipping. This is the best I can do for you." I don't even do that anymore because
the fur.
I guess it's just because I'm a seasoned seller and I'm just.
I don't even bother anymore. I used to have like a saved thing on my phone, like a notepad, where I just copy it and paste it.
I'm just like, I don't have time for that. I'll just counter with a price, and you either buy it or you don't.
Just buy it and leave me alone.
It's good practice. I would tell you probably should. But again, we're getting dozens of offers a day. So
yeah, I mean,
it takes me a second to counter, but not
you used to have like a notepad on your phone and just copy and paste what you normally would say to somebody. That's what I used to do, but now it's just like 10th offer today. Go away.
I don't think Photo Room app will refund you if you cancel. So just make the most of it for the whole month that you have. I guess. That's what I do when I try to cancel something and they're like, no refund. I'm like, well, I'm going to abuse the heck out of this for a month.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch everything on Netflix. No. All right, guys, we're over an hour, so we're going to let you go.
I'm melting. I needed my air conditioner back on.
Yeah, it's hot. And they want to play World of Warcraft, so I got to get on and play World of Warcraft. Anyway.
Resident Evil they were playing.
They're playing Resident Evil while I'm on my live show.
Oh, okay.
And my son is visiting us before we leave, guys, in case you're wondering. And we're going to get on World of Warcraft with Casey and Jamie, because Robert doesn't play it.
Yeah, I don't know how to play it.
I don't
have the internet capacity to play that.
I don't think you do, really. I don't think you do. So you can watch the replay later. And I was a good host this time for once. Yeah. If you look down in the description box, Robert's YouTube and Robert's Instagram are down there.
Awesome. I just put out a video, so go watch that now.
Yep, he put out a What Sold video. So he's down in the description box. I actually remembered it for once.
Oh,
and
everywhere.
So subscribe to Robert. Follow him on Instagram. Join the Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod.
Do all the things you're supposed to. Just do it.
Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe.
Right around. Get all your listings up.
Don't be a turd.
That's right.
And go make some money. Go be productive.
Air conditioning before I die.
And Robert has something to say to you.
I already did. Don't fiddle fart around. Get all your listings up. Bye.
Don't throw the water around, guys. Bye. Thank you for watching. Love ya. Bye.